Welcome back to my channel. My name is Deonis Burton. I'm a fashion and portrait photographer based out of Miami, Florida. Today we're going to be looking at the AI retouching tool within Capture One. Now, I've been in the industry for 15 years and I've done retouching for myself. And obviously that means I've done it for my clients. I've also done it for other photographers. And I just fell in love with the process to the point where I actually teach it as well. So at my workshops or my one-on-ones, like I can actually go through the process of teaching people how to retouch. So I've studied a lot of retouching techniques. I've watched on Creative Live. Lindsay Adler is a big influence on my retouching. I follow a bunch of retouchers on social media, and I went through their website and watched hundreds of hours worth of videos. So like I've learned from people who are like, really invested in retouching correctly, especially within the industry. So the high-end retouching techniques that I know have worked for me greatly. They've allowed me to work for huge productions, as well as your maternity shoots or your birthday shoots. Like I can do it all on every level. So my perspective on retouching is not one who is like, happy that AI has become so advanced to the point where people don't have to learn how to retouch. They can just press a couple of buttons or type in a prompt and everything changes for them. Now, my disdain for it or me not liking it is not because I'm worried about somebody taking my job. It has way more to do with the fact that I work really hard to get this good. So what that means is that I just have to be more strategic when it comes to business and presenting myself in a way that allows me to still be hired. I'm not scared of AI. I get it. It is not something that I would, use in my work because authenticity matters to me. Like I like things that are handmade in general. I'm a big fan of getting this stuff done myself. But we're here today because I also don't want to be the old man screaming off the porch, "Get off my grass!" Like I don't want to be that guy. I've heard a couple of different stories from photographers who were there when there was that switch from film into the digital cameras and how the people who did not adapt, they didn't survive. I want to survive. So I want to, have that reference point to even understand like what these tools are capable of so I can make sure one that I can compete. And if that means me stepping up my game and becoming better, then that's what I got to do. And for me, I don't mind that because I actually really love retouching. Like I get excited to retouch my images, especially if I know I shot something really dope. I want to go do that last step of polishing, and perfecting my images. So yeah, I'm invested. I'm invested. So let's go into Capture One and see how the tools work. Now this tool was introduced in Capture One 16.6.0. And they say that it makes it easy to get natural high-end retouching results in less time. I believe them. I don't think the Capture One will make that kind of claim without having something to back it up, but let's go through the process. So in this image, well, actually all the images, there are different lighting scenarios. I didn't want to test out the software on the same exact type of image over and over again because that's pointless. I wanted to like, really run it through go through the rounds and really test it out. So the only thing I've done in this image is add a little bit of contrast, brought down the whites, and then this mask is just on everything else but her. This was my way of being able to change the oranges and yellows in the image to match up to the vibe that we were going for. So let's click over to this tab for retouching. It already detected her face. You click on show detection. I don't really see anything. I was pressing M to show the mask, but it doesn't really show you anything. Let's zoom in and let's start. So if we raise the blemish, I'm gonna push everything to 100 one at a time so we can see the extreme of it and see what it does. And I'm working on a 2020 iMac. So it's not one of the Intel, it's not one of the M1 chips or any of the M chips. So it's pretty fast to be working on my computer that way. Let's see. Okay. It's not really doing much. The dark circles is doing a lot. That's pretty good. I can already see if you've never done retouching before and you want to get those results, I can see like someone using this program like immediately. Using this tool immediately, and I've been happy with the results. Now there's still some things like this looks nice and even. Let's add some texture. You need texture for skin to look like skin. But yeah, I could see somebody using this for the dark circles work really well. Especially a shot that's straight on. I can see it working well. Let's add some contour. That contour is strong. That's too much, so we need to do it. So anytime you want to add contour, I'm assuming you need to keep it really low. I did lose my train of thought, so I don't know what point I was making earlier. So if you were listening and you saw me drift off a little bit, my bad. Listen, you know what? Let's do this. In the comments below, let me know what I was talking about, and I'll make sure I follow up. But I know I got sidetracked once I started using the software itself. All right, let's do before and after. Yeah, especially if you zoom out, like if you're zooming out and you're only viewing this on Instagram or something, I could see somebody being like, hey, that's good enough for me. Let's go ahead and post it. That doesn't look bad. And now I still will not use this. Let me not say that so fast. Let's go through some more images because I know my mind is like, no, we're gonna be stubborn. We're not. But yeah, I still would do a little bit more to keep this a little more natural, or I could just reduce the black circles because you don't want to lose the shape of the eyes. Yeah, from a distance that looks fine. I don't see why someone would hate it. The old stubborn man to me is still a little bit like, no, we're not gonna do it. But let's go through and test it again. Let's find a blemish to focus on and see if it gets it. Now, her name is Toria. Toria has amazing skin because my skin does not look like this. Even if you put makeup on it, you're not gonna get it looking like this. Like her skin is just, she has great skin. Okay, it got rid of the one that we were looking at. Let's use a dark circle. We know that works. It's having a little trouble with this angle. It's having a little trouble with the angle. It's still working. And let's even out skin. Let's add 100% texture. All right, so it's not doing good with this. It's a little blotchy. I mean, it's working, but it's still not like what I would do. Let's go back and forth. So this is with it off, with it on, off, on. And let's zoom out, off, on. Because this is how you would view it. You wouldn't be zoomed in on anywhere. Even if it was printed, you wouldn't be seeing it that much detail. That's a good starting point. Especially if you've never retouched before, like, I wouldn't be mad if someone showed me this and they're just starting to retouch. Like, that's not a bad attempt at retouching. It's still some things stylistically that I would do that I know to change, but I'm not mad at that. I'm not mad at that at all. All right, let's fix this white balance first. There we go. All right, and let's bring up a little bit. Also, between these two images, this one is a lot sharper. So I feel like the software works better when the image is more in focus. Because this image, let's see. Yeah, this image is a little soft. So I'm not expecting it to work that well. Oh, I'm sorry, I was rushing it. Come on, catch up. All right. Oh, I think I figured out how this whole thing, no, it's not doing that. I thought I figured out something, but I didn't. Okay. That works well. The dark circles works well, especially on fairer skin. The even out, let's add texture. Again, you have to have texture for retouching to look realistic and natural. Let's do before and after. It's not bad at all. I mean, you still have some stuff to get rid of, like these little hairs on her face, but if you just focus on skin, this is not bad at all. Now, it's still blotchy when it comes to reds because, like, I like to even out the red tones, especially in places where there is, like, the bone is actually pushing through. Let's add a little contour. Like, it's a little blotchy over here still, on the hair. There's still spots that I will fix, but again, if you've never done this before, I can see this helping. Or if you're in a pinch, like you're like, hey, client needs, they need these images right now. I got 10 minutes. yeah, you should probably run it through something. Like the situation calls for you not to have time, so you don't have time. You gotta do what you gotta do. All right, let's move on to this next one. This image looks a lot sharper, a lot sharper. Again, this is another person that has really good skin, so my expectations are that this software is gonna look really good. I'm looking at that blemish. Let's see if it gets rid of it. Let's raise it up a little more. Okay, it's gone. And then let's work on the dark circles. Again, it's not crazy, but I like it. And the fact, I think because the image is also shot so sharply, I'm shooting at a 3.5, but she was completely in focus, so we're getting all that skin texture. And if we even out the skin, increase the texture, it looks realistic. It just looks like she has great skin. Here is a little trouble area, another little trouble area. This is something I would fix. So it's not doing stuff that I would do, which as far as like the saturation here, this area needs more saturation. Anytime that, the reason why you have dark circles is because your orbital bone, there is a space here. So that's why your skin sinks in and there's nothing protruding. So it's creating that darkness. So I like to add saturation under here to make it look a little more lively, because we want to give the illusion of perfection. And then around her mouth is still not correct. I still see like delineation line here, like it's just really yellow, and then this goes right into this hard red. But let's do it 100% and see if that fixes it. Nope, did nothing. It's still there. Yeah, so it's not perfect, but again, if you don't know any better, that will look great to a lot of people. But I'm experienced. I already can tell this is probably not gonna work out the way I wanted to, because she's slightly out of focus. Let's just do it at 100. A little bit of contouring. Let's wait for it to do it. Let's go back and forth. So that's before, after, before, after. So they like to push back right here as well. I don't think we necessarily need to push that out. That changed the shape of her face when we do that. Let's zoom out. Oh, that looks like a lot. Yeah, we need more texture on her face in order for this to work. Yeah, I'm not feeling it. Let's see what 100 contour looks like. No reason. Oh, it's not really doing much. Oh, there it is. I see it. It's very subtle. All right, let's move on to the next one. This image is a lot sharper. Let's fix the white balance, and then let's zoom in so we can see the effects of it. Again, you wouldn't be viewing it this close. This wasn't a headshot or a beauty shot. Let's focus on her nose, like right here, and see how the blemish is working. And what we got. It did a good job. It did a good job. So when your images are more in focus and they're super sharp, this software works better. I think for this shot, yeah, see, that's the reds. That's where it gets messed up. So even when you're trying to even it out, that blend between the yellow here and the red and oranges is not good. You see right here, it's that really sharp line. And over here, it looks kind of muddy. That is something you can still fix later. Well, at least for right now, like it's not doing it on its own. So that's something to keep in mind, that like, all right, you may have to do a little bit of work still. You can't depend on this to just be perfect every time. Let's see what the contour looks like. I know it's gonna be heavy. All right, let's do it before and after. This is before, it's after, before, after, and let's zoom out. Before, after. That looks like I'm not gonna lie, that looks like someone actually knew what they were doing. Now, there's still some issues, but we do have it at 100%, but this is nice. All right, let's try a tricky situation, because this is not normal. This is not a normal scenario. Let's bring up our shadow so we can see her face a little bit more. Let's go back to that tab. Let's focus on this area here and see if we can remove those blemishes. Again, we started at 100 just so we can be on the extreme and you guys can clearly see if it's working or not. Okay, so it got rid of the blemish, but it got rid of all the rest of the skin texture too. It got rid of a lot of skin texture. Let's see if we add texture back, would that help? Nah. So it's doing that thing where you see someone is overly using frequency separation and there is a separation between what makes the texture exist and the tone beneath it. So it's not just, there's a guy named Pratik, he's a retoucher, he explained this a lot better. I gotta find that link, or maybe, basically if you want it, I can send you guys a screenshot of it. But he explained it a lot better, but there's like a separation between the tone and the texture that makes it look like this. Like this doesn't look good at all. That is not good retouching. Even if you try to even out the skin, no, that doesn't look good. From a distance though, that doesn't look bad. From a distance, it doesn't look bad, but this, I can just tell that part just looks crazy. This area needs to be addressed manually. But I guess this angle is kind of messing them up. Let's see about the dark circles as well. Yeah, it's not handling this angle well. It's getting in there. It knows where things are, but that's not how I would address. Yeah, not bad. It's doing what it's supposed to do, but it's still missing some areas. There's still some blotchiness there that I would address. All right, let's try it on someone with a darker complexion. Let's get in there. Let's bring the exposure down a little bit. Add a little of this. There we go. And her white balance. There we go. That's a little bit better. All right, skin looks fine now. All right, it detected her face. Let's go through the blemish removal. Set it to 100. Not bad. It's still missing some spots all along here, but it got the ones on her forehead, so I guess that's okay. She has really nice skin as well. It's not doing a good job of reading her skin as far as blemishes though. I'm not gonna. Let's check in the dark circles. So it's working, but it's not addressing the actual issue there. It's just bright, just lifting up the shadows in that area, but it's not actually addressing what's giving the appearance of a dark circle. And I know Capture One works with darker models, so I know that they've tested this out with darker models. They work with black creators, so I know they've taken it through its paces, but it's not doing the best job. The evening out part is not bad. The even out's not bad in conjunction with the dark circles. And then let's add a little bit of texture because you need texture. Contouring works even more aggressive on darker skin, it seems. All right, let's see before and after. Before, after, before, and then zoom out. Before, after, before. Again, if you never retouched before, if you're in a rush, I get it. I can see it working. Let's fix the white balance. Let's add a little more warmth to the image, just a little bit. All right, and then let's do it. Let's actually do this one. Let's do it the same way. Let's zoom in as we're doing it. Blemish removal. Did it. We lost all the skin texture, but we got rid of that blemish. So, no, it's too aggressive. Let's see if the dark circles is working. Yeah, so it just addresses shadows. It doesn't think about what could make a dark circle. It's just fixing it, quote unquote. It's just adding some, boosting the shadows in that area. From a distance, yeah, it's smooth. If you guys are going for smooth, I get it, but no, it's not doing what I needed to do. All right, so now this image, we actually shot this. I said we. My team was there with me, but I shot this using the strobe, which is why you can see that catch light in her eyes. It is slightly soft, but let's see if it works. There isn't a lot of blemishes to remove, but I think there's like 2 right here that we could focus on. It didn't get rid of them. Now it did, okay. But we lost a lot of texture overall. Adding texture back doesn't really do much. Let's see if the dark circles is doing anything. Dark circles is working, but you can see like it's missing the mark because there's like a still an issue right here and it's not even remotely touching it. It's only really touching here and kind of falling back. So it knows it should work in this area, but it's not thinking about the whole images. So it's not interpreting anything. It's kind of applying like a cookie cutter approach to it. Yeah, so I probably would not be using this in any of my work. From a distance though, it doesn't look crazy, but it's still something I would address because it sticks out to me as a retoucher. And like any other project, I gotta impress myself first. Like, yes, I care about my clients and what they need, but like I have a standard for myself that I gotta keep. All right, let's test it out. Now this image, this was, I believe, it was flash. The flash went off. This was the shoot. If you guys saw the BTS from this shoot, I was using a Kodak flash for one of my assistants because I didn't want to use my Profoto strobes. It was about to rain, but she was like, "Hey, do you want to just use it?" I'm like, "Cool." So I did. But let's zoom in. Let's just zoom in. So that's the lighting scenario. There's a flash being used. Let's work on blemish. Set that to 100. See if it addresses like this area right here. It's loading. Again, this is pretty fast for what it's doing, especially being that this is a Intel machine, a 2020 iMac. Okay, it kind of did it, but it just took out a ton of texture. Let's look at the dark circles. It's doing it, but again, it's not really addressing what makes it a dark circle. Even out the skin. I mean, that works, but it's not like, it's not reading and interpreting. I know it's AI because it's artificial intelligence, but it's not like, it's not thinking through what's happening. It's just applying whatever script is written for the face. I know some people will be like, no, that looks great. It doesn't look bad necessarily, but I still see things that wouldn't fit my style of retouching and with the things that I know matter when it comes to retouching. Yeah, I would still continue to address this. There's still some blotchiness. Yeah, it's missing quite a bit. Now this was probably the best test. Let's zoom out. This was probably the best test. Let's get that white balance figured out. This is probably the best test for this because this is a beauty shot. Her skin is, everything is sharp, so we should have no issues with that. There's tons of detail for it to pull from, so let's do it at 100. Let's focus on here, here, and here. Let's see if it works. I feel like it's going to, nope, missed that. Okay, so it doesn't do well from the side. So any angles from the side is not gonna be your best friend. Let's focus on the dark circles. Dark circles is helping, but again, it does not address like what makes a dark circle because there's this area here itself. There has to be a better blend in here for that to look like it was actually retouched. It's trying to help it too. You can see it touching it, but it's not doing what I would need it to do. Let's put the even out skin at 100. Now that is working well. That's working really well. I'm not mad at that. That's working well. Let's add some texture, a little bit of contouring. Ooh, okay, so contouring, you can see where it's starting to help. or try to help, but it's creating, yeah, it's creating another thing that you have to fix, because even if you wanted to do this, you now got to address the fact that all of this is kind of messed up. Okay, so let's do it before and after. Yeah, not bad. I mean, there's still more things to address, but it's not a bad spot to be in. Yeah, so my overall perspective on this is not software that I will be using, because my workflow is very efficient at this point. It takes me about an hour to do most edits, or 45 minutes to an hour to do most edits. And for me, that's good because I'm very thorough and I have my process, for getting things done. And again, it's worked for me for the last 15 years. It's gotten me the clients that I've been able to work with. And when I've taught other people my techniques, it works as well. So I can see a use case for this. If you've never retouched and you just want your photos to look more polished, I will go for this, especially if your shots are in focus. If you're the kind of person that is lazy, or you don't have the time to do it, like you're in a rush, just need to get something out, I will use this software. Then also, if you want to use something to give you a starting point of where your retouching needs to get to, I think this would be a good piece of software to use. So I get it. I definitely get it. I see why they added it in. I don't necessarily think they need it. I think Capture One could just get rid of it. I don't know. I'm one of those people who are on a more traditional side and want to do things handmade, especially when it comes to art. Like, I don't want automated art. I'm not an AI general fill guy. I'm not a AI art person, like, at all. I don't want the computers making anything in that regard. I'm okay with computers helping in the process, in the sense of, let's say that I'm working on selection and it's hard for me to select the hair. Like, okay, you selected hair for me, appreciate it, but you didn't do any work necessarily. You didn't create anything for me. You made a mask, and somebody may say, oh, well, that's technically doing blah, blah, blah. Cool. But for me, that's not really pushing anything. Like, I'm fine with the AI mask, or, doing a sky selection for me or something like that. But actually creating the art, no. And I'm gonna make another video about that too, but that wouldn't be for me. So is this something that you will use in your work? Is it something that you're considering? Is it something that you're already used before and you have some feedback on it? Feel free to leave that in the comment below. Leave a like if you enjoyed the video, and subscribe if you haven't. I feel like everyone needs to just subscribe, don't you? I think that'd be a great idea. Uh, Again, thank you for being here. I appreciate you. Like I always say, I know we're out here creating for our friends, our family, our clients, our network, and everybody else. Make sure you're making time to create for yourself. All right. Peace.